How to exploit weaknesses in queen versus bishop endgames. Have you ever found yourself in a queen versus bishop endgame and wondered how to turn the tables in your favor? This scenario can be tricky, but with the right techniques, you can capitalize on the bishop's limitations. Let's break down how to exploit weaknesses effectively. First, remember that the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. It can move in any direction and control vast areas. This versatility is key in this endgame. On the other hand, the bishop is limited to moving diagonally and can only control squares of one color. If the bishop is on light squares, it cannot influence dark squares at all. This limitation is where you can find your advantage. The king plays a vital role in this endgame. Your king should work closely with the queen to corner the opponent's king and bishop. Positioning your king effectively can help restrict the bishop's movements and support your queen's attacks. To exploit the bishop's weaknesses, aim to control squares of the opposite color. If your queen and king are on squares that the bishop cannot reach, you will limit its ability to defend its king. This positioning makes it easier for you to launch attacks without fear of being blocked. Another effective strategy is to force the opponent's king into a corner. Use your queen to push their king back. Once their king is cornered, it becomes much easier to deliver checkmate. Since the bishop can only control squares of one color, it cannot protect the king if your queen is positioned on the opposite color. Creating zugzwang situations can also be beneficial. Although the queen is more powerful, the bishop can sometimes force your queen into a position where any move worsens your situation. However, with careful maneuvering, you can usually avoid these traps. If the opportunity arises, try to capture the bishop. This action leaves your opponent with just their king, making it much simpler to achieve checkmate. Always keep your queen active and ready to limit the bishop's mobility while supporting your king. Lastly, while pawns are not directly relevant in a pure queen versus bishop endgame, any remaining pieces can influence the outcome. Focus on coordinating your pieces effectively to maintain control over the board. By applying these techniques, you can exploit the weaknesses in a queen versus bishop endgame. With practice and strategic thinking, you will find yourself successfully navigating these tricky situations and achieving victory.